Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Module 3 of EDU 605, Testing and Assessment. Anita Stewart McCafferty here with you from the Ed Leadership Department at USM. So I want to walk you through this week's module, which is really focused on primarily selected response assessments and thinking about how it is that we create or select quality selected response assessments. And so when I say selected response, I'm talking about multiple choice, fill in the blank, matching, true and false, some very short answers. Those types of questions and items really make up what is referred to as selected response. And so during this module, we're going to look at the guiding questions around how can we ensure the quality of selected response assessments, what kinds of achievement targets are a good match for using selected response, how can teachers help students understand how to turn knowledge and some reasoning achievement targets into an accurate and useful selected response assessment, and how can information from selected response be used for both formative and summative purposes. Our objectives for this module are fourfold. The first is that you'll be able to explain why selected response methodology should be used and how selected response assessments best match with certain learning targets. The second objective is that you will be able to use assessment quality standards to audit and evaluate any selected response assessment. The third is that you will be able to revise selected response assessments for future use. And the fourth is that you'll be able to use information from selected response assessments to make decisions about standards and diagnostic decisions to plan further instruction for your students. So during this module, we're going to continue with our reading around Chapuis and Stiggins' book, their latest edition, the third edition of the Classroom Assessment for Student Learning, CASTLE. And we're going to be reading chapter 5, which really focuses on selected response. We'll also be reading chapter 8, which is a relatively short chapter from Teaching Strategies that Create Assessment Literate Learners. And this chapter really is going to focus on how to use questioning to help diagnose student learner needs, as well as being able to think about how do we teach classroom discussion or productive discourse protocols to our students so that if we are using classroom discussion to diagnose learner needs, that we can get accurate information from that. So during this week, I will ask that you read both of the chapters, chapter 5 in Chapuis and Stiggins' book, and then chapter 8 in the book that I and my colleague Jeff Beaudry co-authored. We'll also ask for you to watch a short video by Dylan Williams, who is just a wonderful assessment expert. He's a speaker, an author, a practitioner, and he has put together a presentation on questioning that I think is worthwhile. I'll also encourage you to watch a video of a demonstration of Talk Science in action in an elementary classroom. And then my colleague Jeff Beaudry and I have put together a fairly comprehensive slideshow. It's based on modules that we've created and presentations that we've done around diagnosing learner needs. Then you will be engaged in working through learning activities 5.3, 5.4, and 5.5, really related to the CASTLE book by Chapuis and Stiggins on selected response. So for that assignment, you will be creating propositions, so practicing creating propositions for a selected response assessment, designing a blueprint that you could use for a selected response assessment, and then creating and revising a selected response quiz or test while you're using the test quality checklist that you could find on page 161 in the text. I also have it hyperlinked in the assignment for ease of use for you. The discussion board has 2 prompts this week. One is around effective questioning, and the other is around classroom discussion, so productive discourse. And it will really be most useful for you to engage in that discussion board once you have read Chapter 8 and viewed a couple of videos there on questioning and talk science. So I hope that you enjoy the experience of delving into selected response items and also to thinking more deeply about diagnosing learner needs and how we can really use questioning to benefit us from an instructional standpoint as educators, but also our students, and help to provide accurate information in both formative and summative kinds of ways. Happy learning. Enjoy Module 3.